Hey, what's up, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 7025fm.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by E. providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Shook, host of the Undrafted All-Star Sports Show. Man, listen, if you want some real down south, Louisiana-style Cajun food, you need to go check out DB's Cajun Kitchen. Yo, they got lobster and grits, seafood boils, signature fries, signature po' boys, signature egg rolls, and desserts. Oh, and my favorite, them gumbo tacos. Yo, they open from 11 to 8, Wednesday to Monday, 11 to 5:30 on Sunday. Located in North Las Vegas at 4343 North Rancho Drive. They even have to-go orders and catering. Hit them up, 725-780-1850, or go to the website, dbcajunkitchen.com. So, yo, don't just tell your friends about me. Tell them about DB's Cajun Kitchen.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on Hot 702.5fm.com.
It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale. Boom, boom. What's happening? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You know what it is, baby. It's hump day. Time to holla at the homie. And I am said homie. I'm 360 the poet. That's THAPOET. Make sure you spell it right because it actually means something, you dig? That's tenacity, heart, and attitude present opportunities every time. So, today, we know we're doing each and every Wednesday right here from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time and your respective times based off where you live. So, we out here in this thing like a wedgie. What's up, Dakari? Dakari Kofi in the building, man. What's happening with you, man? I know it's past Virgo season, but a big birthday shout out to you again, man. I always like to say what's up. Big birthday shout out today to who we got today. We got Randa and we got Salithia. So happy birthday to y'all, the homegirls out there celebrating. I ain't gonna never tell nobody's age, but I'll make sure that y'all get what's up, Jorge? I was just talking about you, man, the other day, man. Glad to see you out there still doing your thing, baby. Holla at me sometime. What's up? Critty Crid in the building. Buenos tardes. What's going on? Brandon America 777, McFadden Amber in the building. Always good to have some of my regulars in my local. Because y'all know what we do here. It's the #1 online or in-person advice column that you can find. It's Dear Abby Meets the Hood. You dig? So I'm a little bit more urban. Dear Urban Abby, maybe, if you want to call it something similar, if you need some sort of comparison. But it's the place where you come and you get all your questions answered as the best of my ability. Because, again, I've never been trained in any way, shape, form, or fashion in psychology, anything like that. But I have lived a pretty colorful life. And I'm not just talking about the hats and shoes and shirts that I wear. I'm talking about the life I've lived. I've been able to see some things, live through some things, and experience some things. And if not by my own hands or doing, I've been able to sponge it up vicariously living through other people so I can squeeze that game right back out here to y'all. And that's how I come up with a lot of this. You know, it comes through experience. It comes through my colleagues out there, my coaching colleagues out there that tune in and tap in. What's going on, Lady Blue Diva? What's happening with you? Good to see you down in San Diego still. I'm going to come down there and holler at you. Let me know what bar you at. I know you down there slanging them drinks. So I know you are, right? What's happening with y'all? You say don't tell your stuff. I ain't gonna tell on you, Christy. I ain't gonna tell on you. Today we got one on the slate. I have saying like, don't tell my stuff. Like I had people when I put the teaser up earlier about it, like to tune in and tap in. I put the teaser up earlier. People like, hey man, what you done seen me out doing? Like because people they call we call each other brother, cousin, family. Sometimes and it's some that are related to you, but whether it's through in-laws or whether they cousin-in-law, brother-in-law, best friend-in-law. What up, JJ? Big Swole in the building. What's happening with you, man? I worked out with you today. You were doing your workout, and I was at the gym getting mine in too. So that's what's happening. Your inspiration, JJ, my inspiration. But I had some people asking me, man, what you done seen me out doing? Because people know when I'm in the cut, I know how to be in the cut. Like I know how to be in a building and not be seen. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, I talk. I can know how to spit and talk and speak with the rest of them, with the best of them. But if I don't want to be seen, don't want to be heard, I know how to be in the cut. And I am very observant when I'm in the cut. So the people be thinking like, what you done? What you done seen me on? Nothing. It's not dealing with me. Somebody else wrote this for me. You know what I mean? So they wrote me this letter. Now, just because you feel a little guilty, don't be out there telling on yourself. That's all I got to say to y'all. Don't be out there self-sabotaging, self-snitching. Is all I'm going to say to y'all lovely, lovely people that's worried out there in them streets. But we got a good one today, so I'm gonna go ahead and dive straight into it and get this letter off my chest. So, dear Holla at the Homie, I really recently found myself in a pretty uncomfortable situation, and I'm really torn about what to do next. Last weekend, I was at a party that had a lot going on, a lot more than I expected. It quickly turned into a scene filled with drugs, which is not my vibe at all. And as I'm trying to keep my distance and mind my own business, I see my wife's sister's husband, someone I've always thought was pretty straight-laced, snorting cocaine like it was no big deal. Now, I'm stuck in a dilemma. On one hand, I feel like my wife should know about this. I mean, this is her sister's husband, and that feels like something she should be aware of, especially if this is a regular thing for him. But on the other hand, I'm worried about telling her, and that it will blow up things into something bigger, a bigger issue with her family, and I don't want to be the one causing the tension between her and her sister. What if this is just a one-time thing, and I'm stirring the pot for no reason? I feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now, do I keep quiet and hope that it never comes up? Or should I bite the bullet and tell my wife what I saw, knowing it might cause a rift with my in-laws? Help a homie out. Stuck in silence. Whoa! You stuck in silence? You ain't stuck too much in silence. I'm going to help you out as best as I can to the best of my ability, homie. You know, that one thing I am going to do. I'm going to break it down to you the best way that I know how, But this is a situation like, I don't know if I've ever caught myself or found myself in a situation to where I've had to question whether or not to tell on somebody. Because y'all know, I really don't do too much snitching. I really don't. You know what I mean? Like, I have to evaluate this situation because this is deeper. This is about, till death do us part, better for worse type thing. So you got to reconsider a lot of stuff because you did make some vows. So, but I don't do no snitching really out here in these streets. So I've never had a situation where this has presented itself to me. So this I found, what'd you say? What's that say? You say, Kenchalo, mind your business and drink water. Hey, somebody will tell you that in a heartbeat. Speaking of water, I need one. Damn, I'm going to grab one out that fridge. You know what I mean? So, I get it. I get when people are like, mind your business and stuff like that. But the thing about that is, your business is your partner's business too at sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if you really want them to keep you on the ends, sometimes you got to be able to kind of keep them on the ends sometimes too. You can't just keep them out and ostracize them and separate them all the time. Would you say you'll definitely end up the bad guy? Yeah, that is one way to look at it. And I've been weighing that. I always like to give angel's advocate and devil's advocate because the person stuck in silence, he says, I'm trying to keep my distance and mind my own business. Thank you very much. My engineer be coming through for me, boy. They be like magic around here. It's like Harry Potter. But it's like minding my own business. And I see my sister's husband. My wife's sister's husband. That already, your baby daddy's sister cousin Tracy told me you was at the movies all hugged up with some charam. Now tell me who she was. Like that feel like a starting line on Friday at the beginning when she laid up in the bed with another dude that she come from the front and Craig. But it's like this, like when you're in a situation like this, you got to look at it as if, things got out of hand, right? Yeah, they were at a party and things got out of hand. So, drugs and, what'd you say? Give himself the best advice. And that's it. That's one thing I'm gonna talk to him about. Like, there's a situation you need to check with yourself first. That's what I was just about to say, Kenchalo. I was just about to say that you need to check with yourself first, stuck in silence. Like, dig deep. Are you comfortable holding on to this juice? Can you hold your water? Can you keep this tea from getting steamy and too hot to handle? You know what I mean? You got to check in with yourself first. I mean, it's already messing with you enough where you wrote into me. So I know it's already bugging you a little bit. I get that. I get that it's bugging you. It's on your nerves. Like it's working with you, and you're in the middle of some mess and that you didn't even ask for it. That's one thing. Like if you go out there asking for it and you jumping in the middle of something, so now you putting yourself in a situation. Molly Mall, what's up? #1 construction worker in the world. Shells Light Work, what's happening with you? Got my hematite on over here, Shells. You know what I mean? So like, this is the thing you got to look at. Like, you got to look, are you comfortable holding on to this tea? Holding on to this juice? Holding on to all this information? Because it's weighing on your mind. So in a minute, you got to explode. It's going to be at the wrong time. Exactly. You got to check in with yourself. You right, Brandon America? You right. You got to check in. That's what I said. He got to check in with himself to make sure this is something worth getting off your chest. Something that you got to get off your chest. Sometimes you got to give it to the Lord. Hey, find your prayer corner and give it to the Lord. You can say it out loud. Go to confession if you're Catholic. You know what I'm saying? You may have to do a few Hail Marys and hold on to some stuff, but everybody ain't going to tell you to tell the business. Now, I may tell you something that may lead you towards that, because, again, I never tell anybody what to do. I just give you availability of what can be done. What you say, Kitchelo, be a man and say something to him. Make it square. And that's another thing, because before you go run into your wife, because it's something you can't brush off. So before you go run into your wife, you got to think about a couple things. First, is this a pattern or a one-time situation? Did he look, see no, exactly. I put that in my hashtags earlier, Molly Mall, see no evil, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. You ain't, I ain't the one that gossips. You ain't heard it from me. You know what I mean? We live by a code out here, And again, this is but then you got to look at it on the other side. Like if this was your sibling, and like there's your sister and her husband out there bucking the system. Now, you probably, as a brother, would probably go check that fool, but would you tell your sister? So that's something you got to look at, like, do your wife, sister need to know? You got to evaluate the marriage, what they got going on. Do they got a bunch of secrets going on? So they got a bunch of secrets. This is just another one to add to the fire. Let chicken legs lay where they going to lay. You know what I mean? Let people do what they going to do. Junk the deuces and keep it pushing. Because if you bring it up to your wife and you ain't ready to bring it out to them, then she going to be ready to tell her sister. So that's one thing you got to take into consideration. So before you go running off and tell that Martin Lawrence and it to your sister, you got to be able to say, is this a one-time situation? You say, I did it once and my cousin got mad at me. Exactly, Molly Mall. Like, and what you say to Kari Kofi, you got to tell your wife if she finds out you didn't share this information, you're going to be in trouble. Now, once you tell your wife, it's not just your burden anymore. Make sure you and the wife is on the same page. That's another thing I'm going to hit on him on. I'm going to hit him with that too, Dak. I'm going to hit him with that. Like, when he if he does decide to tell his wife, you got to, now y'all Bonnie and Clyde. Now, and exactly, Molly Mall, I get that. People see you or people know you done the little booger sugar and they didn't write you off. Because I used to be a booger sugar user. I used to party. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't gonna sit with the kids. I ain't gonna hold you up. I ain't gonna hold you up. That's what the kids say. You know what I'm saying? But like, again, is it a pattern? Is it a one-off thing? Is it a social thing? You know, so you got to realize, are you about to snitch on this man? What'd you say, Brandon? Might want to holler at the double one-on-one, make sure he good. Exactly. Holler at the dude. Holler at him. That's my next thing. You got to, people mess up from time to time. People make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, so you can't just, like I say, when you point the finger at somebody, 3 of them point right back at you. And those and tell you exactly, I ain't going to hold you. And, they be correcting me out here. My people back here, my crew, my staff, and my crew out here, make sure I don't get the quotes wrong. It's the kids saying, I ain't going to hold you. I say, I ain't going to hold you up like I got a pistol at your head or something. I ain't going to hold you, But you got to be able to talk to him one-on-one. Like, before you go telling your wife, like, hey, if that's your brother-in-law, y'all should have some sort of, like, but then again, what if y'all don't have a relationship? What if you don't rock with dude already? You said that's not your scene, so you said it made you feel you said you're in an uncomfortable situation and you're not sure what to do about it next. That's what your letter say. You know what I'm saying? What'd you say, Molly? I asked him and his wife is good. He said yes. Well, I saw her kissing other dude at the bar. What's going on, Trace? Trace, my lawyer in the building. That's what I'm talking about. I got representation out here in case I slip up and say something. What I said, Kenchelo. You say check your bro first. No need to bring the spouse into it until you get a man-on-man convo. That's right, Jorge. And that's what I'm saying. You got to check with your brother-in-law first. What'd you say, Tracy? You tell him pronto. I know you snitching. I know, Trace. I know you. It's no question in my head. If I know you snitching, so I already know I'm gonna be on my P's and Q's already when I'm near and around you. I ain't even gonna look like I'm smiling in nobody else's direction because I know you snitching, Trace. I'm well aware of this. I'm well aware. Kenjelo says, "Speak the truth." You know what I mean? So like. But check with your bro first, like that. Get a understand, like, hey man, what's up, bro? This your get down, like this what you do, like I don't look. I ain't gonna go running telling nobody nothing. But if you got me in an uncomfortable position, would you say I know I'm gonna see it, Howard Homecoming. I know it. I'm gonna be everywhere I look. It's gonna be a you. Your little bitty butt gonna be everywhere I'm at. I know you, Tracy. You probably got a tracker on me already. You found a way. You got them peoples on you. Would you say no need to make things more messy if the homeboy already trying to escape his situation with some booger sugar? Hey, Jorge, that's another point. That's another thing. Like, he may already be going through some things already. He may already be in some trouble in his mind already. His escape is the booger sugar. You know what I'm saying? So now you looking at him like, ask him, talk to him, get one-on-one, man up with him like, hey, bro, just let you know I peep game. And I just want to know what's up. And, because what if they watch your kids or something? What if y'all got kids and y'all babysit each other's kids or something like that? Like, you got to be aware of what's going on with him anyway. So you don't want to just go sneak off into the corner and get to chopping it up with your wife and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You just want to get it straight with him, with the other man that's in this situation. Holla at your brother. What'd you say, Molly Mall? They called me with her on the phone. Tell her what you said. See, people be like, when people snitch, they gonna be like, what'd you say, just ask, plain and simple. That's right, McFadden. That's some things you got to think. What did it say, Kenchelo? My question is, what would it be to my husband? Why were you there? What different situations now? And that's the other thing. That's another thing, Kenchelo. You brought up. See, that's from a wife. A wife says she gonna ask her husband, well, what were you doing there? Well, what was you doing at this party that you said it wasn't your vibe, but you stayed long enough to see your brother-in-law? What was you doing? Yeah, they did him dirty, Jorge. They did him dirty. Like, what was you doing at that party? You know, like now you at this party, did you have the plate? Did you pass it to the left and realize that he was 3 people over in rotation? What was your status? Because now you got to talk it out with your wife. Because then now why was you there? Why was you at a party and I wasn't with you? There's so many other questions that can be asked in that. So that's where you got to first check in with yourself. That's what I said. Check in with you first, Mr. Stuck in Silence. And I know you're on here because I saw you check in. I know you on here. So like, you know, Mr. Stuck in Silent. You know what I'm saying? It's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. You're right, Jorge. It is, but it's real life. This man in a situation, he don't know what to do. He juggling answers and questions and questions and answers. He don't know which way to go. Hopscotching through his marriage because he don't know what to say to his wife because somebody already, Kinchelo over here said it already. Said like, now, if you don't tell your wife, Dakari Kofi said, if you don't tell your wife and she find out you had that information already, she going to be like, Wagwan Osban. Wagwan, you know, how come you not told me nothing? Would you say pillow talk goes a long way? It does. It does. And you can't be over there. Girl, let me tell you. You put it on me. Let me tell you. Did I tell you about when I saw Charles? I seen Charles. I'm at a party over there. You know, I was over there one I'm talking about over there with such and such now. And I seen Charles. He over there going face first into that plate. Boy, he was down there, booger sugar. You know what I mean? Like, and you over there pillow talking because your blood done rushed out your head and out your feet. You can't run away and you're dumb as hell. You already know when you bust one where all the blood come from. They told you in Love Jones. What'd you say? Those are my questions. Your ass scared trying to tell me what my sister husband doing. Like, see? That's what I'm saying. That's where it gets all bad. And you got to evaluate those things too. You know, people mess up, and people may be in a high stakes environment, and the parties where somebody may have diddy that man. Somebody may have told him. Somebody may have diddy him. Said, if you don't hit this, I'm telling your wife everything else that we be doing at our getaways in the cabins. They may have diddy that man. You never know what's going on, man. It's a lot of situations. People got to be scared and be careful out there. There's a lot of fentanyl going on in these streets, boy. You think it's some cocaine, ain't nothing but fentanyl and banged up aspirin. It's some bear and fentanyl, and you about to die. So stop it. Stop it. You know what I mean? They messed up the game, so just stay out of it. You know what I mean? You say deflecting. Exactly. That's another thing, Molly Mall, that deflecting thing may be something that may come into the situation because now you got to get your wife off of you because you done told her that you somewhere that these things are going on, so now she questioning how your movement's going, how you getting down. You know? Then that's a real situation. You know, so, but then you also got to like, you know, it may be a rare lapse in judgment for this man. But you can tell, you can look at, see how somebody get down. If they timid, they ain't really done this before, but if they know how to just catch that rail and take it on down, this ain't their first rodeo. Them Spurs ain't new. Them Spurs are not new, you know? So you just got to pay attention. You looked, you didn't peep, you didn't looky-looed. So apparently you didn't say anything to him that evening because now you don't know what to do. But my advice would be to go to him because if you saw him, then most likely he saw you. And maybe y'all don't rock with each other like that. Maybe y'all do, and it was just uncomfortable to catch somebody seeing each other like that. And he may be like, damn, Ricky gonna tell. Or damn, Chucky gonna tell on me. Damn, I saw Chris bald-headed ass at the party, man. I know he see me in there getting down. This fool gonna tell. He snitch about everything. He pee-whooped. You know what I mean? Like, this could be all kind of things going through his head because you didn't say anything to him. And that's another point, Jorge. It don't matter if you don't rock like that because it's on your heart right now enough to where you wrote me a letter. And really trying to get some answers. And I appreciate you. Again, I appreciate you because it gave me a chance in case this situation ever comes up in real life for me, how I would move in these shoes. Exactly. You look out for your fellow man and check with your girl next. And that's another thing, man. It's like we done lost the bro code out here, man. A lot of us done lost the bro code. And the bro code ain't all about just protecting somebody. The bro code is being able to step to another brother and be like, hey, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Let me holla at you real quick, homie. Like, this is what I see. You know, how do we progress from this as brothers? You know where I stand with it. I'm trying to figure out where you stand with it. That's part of the bro code. That's the part I feel like we've lost in the mix somewhere along the line and giving it over to pillow talk. And that is real, man. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to be real with the man. That's it. That's real. It's got to be. And both of y'all said it. Kenjalo said it over here on Facebook, and Jorge said it over here on Instagram. It's about being real. That's real man stuff. You know? Girls, they got their way of they sister code. They staying on it. Percentage wise, they getting us right now. You say the genuine love man isn't around no more, but it is wild, but it can get back. We just got to realize that it's okay to talk to each other. We got to realize that that's what this whole platform, I Holla at the Homies, started with, so brothers can be able to talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's no real solution, but then the thing about it is, the flip side is, what is the risk of not saying nothing at all? You know, let's say this dude does have a problem, and later on something happened to him, and you never talk to him about it. Keeping quiet means you possibly letting him continue down the road of no accountability. Talking to the man will give some sort of accountability because somebody else knows. If that's it, exactly. We got to be able to hold each other accountable. We all fall short of perfection. And even some of us have been to law school. That don't mean we got to pass judgment on each other, though, either. Because just because you be okay with in this situation doesn't mean that I am, and vice versa. When you in situations where you feel like you're not in the right state of mind or you're not doing the right things, that's probably a situation where I might naturally thrive. That's why we all individual and unique. So, you know what I'm saying? What'd you say, Dakari Kofi? Bro code is dead when it comes to drugs. You can't talk to dope heads. Bro code is for sober brothers. But then I can't say that either, Dak. I can't say that either, because if that's the case, then we can't talk the keys out of our drunk friend's hand when they trying to drive somewhere, because alcohol is a bigger drug than cocaine. It's a bigger drug, and it's a more highly abused drug than cocaine. So I can't say that. I can't say that, because bro code needs to be there at all times, because bro code is about being your brother's keeper, meaning keeping them when they don't have themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot I learned from my brother-in-law. He told me one time, I'll keep your 6 covered as long as you got your 12. And I said that's real-ish. As long as I got the front of me covered, he gonna make sure behind me is square. That's bro code. That's real brother-ish. Regardless, good, bad, or indifferent, I wouldn't pass judgment on anybody. So when it come to drugs, I need to talk to him first, because he's the one I saw on them. He's the one I see using them. So he's the one I need to go to before I even go to my wife, because she may not understand what information he can give me. I may miss the information he can give me and find out why he rocking like that, or what's going on in his world, or does he need my help? Because if I don't say anything to him, I'm leaving him out there to fend for himself. And that's not bro code in my mind. I would never leave. If I rock with you, I'll never leave you hanging on like a hubcap in the fast lane. I won't do that. If I call you my brother, I will be there for you, whether you high as the cost of living or whether you sober as a nun. That's what we there for. That's what we supposed to be there for, because that's the wall that we've put up, because it's the judgment wall. We judge each other so much about our own people's shortcomings that we forget to look in the mirror. There's some areas where we are far from perfect. Pretty much 99% of our areas, we are far from perfect. You may have perfect attendance, but none of us are perfect. You got to be brothers and sisters to each other. We got to be there for each other, because that way it's unconditional. That's what unconditional love. If you loving somebody based off the conditions in which they can be there or which they're going through, that means you don't love them unconditionally. It's conditions to that love. Nah, you got to stay tuned in and tap in regardless. That's what I'm trying to get across to each and every person. regardless of what your brothers may be going through, regardless of what your sister may be going through. You have to be there for them. Somebody got to be there. Because if we feel like there's nobody there, then all we're going to depend on is the crutch in which we are using to destroy ourselves. You know? Exactly, McFadden. You saying something could force them to stop. If you saw them, you know what I'm saying, and he's slipping. Exactly. Because anything, and again, you may talk to him. His wife may already know. That's the other part I meant to say. Holla at him first. His wife may already know he be on the book of sugar. But your wife don't, so ain't no need to bring her into it. Now your wife judging her sister because she know her husband's a cokehead. If you holler at him first, you may get an answer that you didn't expect. You may be like, hey man, what would your wife say? Oh, she know what I'm doing. This in our budget. He may tell you some all kind of ish. Exactly. Now they beefing. Now him and his wife beefing because your wife done got into it and because he out there slipping. So now you catch him from slipping. Hey, you slipping. You falling. You can't get up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't leave him out there hanging, man. Don't leave each other out there hanging. Don't be afraid to speak to the people you love. If you love somebody, don't be afraid to speak to them in any facet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's something that you care about, you love them, but you love them enough to know how they can receive what you're saying. So don't just give it to them the way you want to give it to them. Give it to them to the way that you know they receive it. If you're really trying to get a message across to somebody, it ain't about just always finger wagging and telling people, well, this, and this. Talk to them about it. Circle the wagons and see what the conversation brings about, because now at least y'all conversing. Now y'all at least in the same arena, and y'all now one of them a spectator and one a participant. Now y'all both participating in this conversation, in this moment of knowing what's happening. You know? Because again, I get the fact that if your wife know that you had this information, you know, because again, if you talk to him, you find out that his wife already know and be like, man, please. Then he may say, don't tell your wife nothing, man. Like, that's the worst thing in the world. You know how your wife is. And you may be like, yeah, you're right. I do know how my wife is. So now it's not a secret to them. So that ain't your secret to tell your wife, because you've had the conversation with your brother-in-law. You've talked to him. You've chopped it up with him. You've addressed the issue. Now you got a whole different pathway to where you're trying to get to. You know? Because let's talk about the family side of things. Let's say for instance, you cause a rift, you know, and I know you worry about causing issues between your sister and your wife, or, you know, and now you feel like there's going to be family drama, and that's the last thing that you want. According to your letter, you said the last thing you want is to be the reason why there's drama in the family. You know? But again, you can alleviate and stop a lot of that from even transpiring if you just have a conversation with your brother-in-law. Because let's say you go about it the other way. Let's say you go run tell your wife, babe, man, I couldn't wait till you woke up. I got to tell you something. I've been juggling this for a couple of days, and I finally came to the conclusion. I got to tell you. And you tell her, and now stuff is it's problematic. You know. Then what? Again, retroactively, what, like I said before, what if his wife already know, and they just didn't want your gossiping ass wife to know nothing about it? You know, but then again, you welcome to take. Again, I never tell people what to do. I'm just giving you options of what can be done. And I think the number one option that would be beneficial, which would behoove you, would be to converse with your brother-in-law. Chop it up with him. Get real with him. Talk to him like, hey, bro, come on by the crib. The game on. You know what I mean? Wife way gonna be over your house, so come on by the crib. Let's talk. Let's talk. Because, you know, nobody knows where the nose goes when the doors close. Nobody knows. It's functioning everything out here. Functioning everything. It's functioning serial unalivers. They out here living their best life and nobody even know they got parts in the freezer. It's functioning crackheads. I remember one time I served a teacher from my school. Yes. Imagine that conversation the next time on campus. I could have ran and told that. But she was spending, so I wasn't going to run and tell nothing. No, I was young, in teenage life. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm saying? What'd you say? My husband told me everything, but we were friends like that. I would never tell what he told me, just put it in my pocket. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, your wife may hold on to it with you. You say, what grade? I was in the 10th. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Your wife may hold on to it with you if you decide to run tell that. You know, but first I would just advise you. You ask for my advice. I would advise you. What's up, Sapphire Gardner? I would advise you to talk to your brother-in-law first, regardless of what type of relationship y'all have. Because this is weighing heavy enough on you to where it could affect y'all as a family unit. You know? You recognize him off sight, so it's not like y'all distant like that. And again, like I said, if you saw him, it's highly likely he saw you too. And he probably just waiting on that conversation. You're right, Kenchelo. You ain't never lied. Mr. Buff you. He did. Our 5th grade teacher. I've been knowing Kenchelo since the 5th grade. So that's a long ass time. Our 5th grade teacher blew 2 of his fingers, or maybe even 3. No, it was 2 because he held the chalk with the 2 fingers and his thumb was always out at the bottom to hold it in place. From drugs. You know what I mean? From doing drugs. Blew him off. This is our 5th grade teacher. Mr. Buff you. Yes. I wonder if he's still alive. Man, I'd love to see Mr. Buff you. But doing drugs and blew off 2 of his fingers. Like the middle finger and like, I think it was the middle finger and the ring finger because he held the chalk with like these fingers like here and then his thumb would hold it in place. It was the craziest thing ever. Just imagine coming into a school and you coming from country ass Illinois, like you in the middle of the country, you know what I mean? And you come to a school and the first thing you see is your teacher. He only got 8 fingers. He only got 8 fingers. He writing every day on the chalkboard. And this one chalkboard, it wasn't no dry erase markers. Wasn't none of them. This was real chalk. So just imagine him if a chalk break and he can't fit it between them fingers. He got to get a whole new piece of chalk. This one, I'm sorry, I got off target. Talk about Mr. Buff you. You get on my nerves, Kenchelo, for bringing that up. But yeah, these are things that are real. There's functioning everything out there. So again, when you have this conversation with him, you may bring it to your wife. You know, he may be like, hey, if you tell your wife, man, make sure she hold it to the vest, man. Because if my wife know that your wife know, then it's going to be a no. Yeah, it's going to be a no for me. Like Ikari say on Wednesday mornings on the Morning Wood. It's a no for me. You know, so like you may find out more about the situation by just talking to him. Yeah, he did drive he rode a motorcycle with them 8 fingers too. That was crazy. He did. He rode a motorcycle with 8 fingers. But anyway, you know, and this is in the 80s. So motorcycles was heavy then. But like, you know, once you talk to him and then you talk to your wife, if you decide to move forward doing that, then you got to do it with couth. You have to be able to have that conversation in a way, you know, to where it's like, hey, we gonna talk about this, because you don't have to really have an immediate course of action. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to immediately go into anything. You just putting the information on the table. You know, bringing all the information to the surface to find out exactly I know, man. I couldn't stop. And that's what I'm saying. As a fifth grader, I laughed every day. But like, there's no way you don't have to be able to put all of this and just blurt it all out and have, verbal diarrhea and be like, hey, let me tell you everything about this. Whew, glad I told you. Now what we gonna do? Nah, you have to be calculated with this. Your first step was writing this letter to figure out other options and other ways. Like other people had told you, like some things, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Some people have told you on here, like, tell your wife, because if she find out, and you don't tell her, then it's going to be some problems between y'all two. So, and if this is weighing so heavy on you, then there needs to be some sort of relief for you as well. But I think that relief can come by having a conversation with the people that are involved in the situation. Maybe the person who threw the party because you were there. So maybe it was them. And they get down like that and be like, hey, man, I saw my brother-in-law with you, man. Y'all always kick it like that. But then that sound like you being nosy. Because, again, I say go to the source. The source is the source, of course. Nobody can get to the source, of course. Talk to Mr. Ed. Talk to him. Be like, hey, man, what that booger sugar life about? You know what I mean? Like, what you over there doing that? What's that all about? Find a way to talk to him in a way in which he'll receive the conversation, in a way in which he'll receive the message you're trying to get across to him. To let him know, like, if I saw you, what if my wife was with me at this party? Then what? Then she would have seen you too. Then there would have been no question about it. Al Rich, what up with you, partner? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at it like that. You got to look at it in that way to say, like, hey, like, talk to him. Be like, you slipping up. I saw you in the cut. Like, you may have thought it was, in the dark, but everything you do in the dark is going to come to the light because I saw you. So I could have been anybody. That means somebody could have had a camera out. If I was there long enough to see you, somebody could have recorded that. And in the world we live in today, these recordings don't go anywhere. Ask Diddy. These recordings don't go anywhere. So again, if you out there doing it like that to where, if he's out there doing it like that to where you saw him, then it may be something that may be going on in his life that you may want to help him wrangle and bring in. Again, that bro code. A lot of us have lost the ability to unconditionally give that bro code. Meaning being there and helping people find their way back from where they were once before, or finding their way back from where they are now by just being there for them. Because you said you didn't want to bring any drama. That was your main thing. You said you didn't want to bring about any drama in the family. So having that conversation with your brother-in-law and finding out how he got to where he is in his life, to where he out there doing booger sugar in public, I think that conversation would go a lot further than you running to go tell your wife about her sister's husband. Because again, like I said, you sound like the girl on Friday. My sister-in-law, my sister-in-law cousin Tracy told me she saw you at the movie all hugged up with some tramp. Now tell me who she was. She gonna come back and be like, my husband told me that he saw you and your sister-in-law and them over there doing that booger sugar. Now tell me what happened. So you don't want to be that way. You want to talk to your wife in the event that comes down to it, because talk to your brother-in-law first. I can't say it enough. What the Kari Kofi say? Wait a minute. Dope heads telling truth this century. I can tell. I can tell what he's going to say. Same ish that he was saying in the 80s and 90s. I mean, if that's the bag you want to carry it in, Kari, if that's what you want to keep it in that mind frame, because again, nobody tell the truth 100% of the time about anything, especially anything they're trying to keep in the dark. So we got to look at that and try not to put it on a Libra scale and weigh it out and see which one is heavier. Because again, if God or the universe or whatever you believe in puts you in a position to be able to see your brother-in-law like that, it's a reason for it. So now, what do you do with what was put in your lap? What armor do you bear with this? Because again, before we go pointing that finger, we got to think about what we doing here. Why we ain't say something in the beginning if it's bothering us so much. And then the third one is, What would I do if that were me? What would I want done if that were me? You say, man, you can't talk to people in and out the crew and they only mess with marijuana. I mean, you can. It's because, again, nobody knows where the nose goes, where the doors close. I bet there's more people, the car that you know, that's doing cocaine than you know that's doing cocaine. I guarantee you that you would never think. And they out there partying. They partying. Because they do it in the dark, afraid of the judgment. If we had more of the bro code when people were talking to each other about, hey, man, you don't need that. You don't need that. Or not even you don't need that. Tell me why you rocking with that. Because, again, to go in and tell somebody what they do and don't need, that ain't our place. You can tell them, like, in your opinion, say IMO. In my opinion, that I don't think that's beneficial to you. You say you know two? If you know two, then I know 5 people that you know for sure that you don't know. So, again, cuidado, hermano. So it's like, the thing about it is people are afraid of the judgment, of the people who they love the most. So again, a lot of times they won't talk to you about this. But if you present it in a way where they feel comfortable to talk to you about it, and they may have been wanting to get it off their chest, they may have been wanting to escape this, but they felt like nobody was there for them to help. Nobody was there to listen to their why. Because everybody be like, it's excuses. No, sometimes it's the difference between excuses and reasons on what the person believes is their why. There's a difference. IMO. In my opinion, there's a difference. There just is. If you truly listen to something that somebody's saying, it may sound like be an excuse to what your mentality involving that situation is. It would be an excuse for you if that were your life in the mind frame you have right now. But for them, that is truly their reason for what they believe in their mind. Whether it's a drugged mind, whether it's a depressed mind, whether it's a lonely mind, in their mind, they believe that's their why. And sometimes people don't feel like anybody's going to be there to truly consider and listen to their why. So again, that's a reason why a lot of people do drugs in the dark. It's the reason why a lot of people, a lot of people don't say anything about the stuff that they're doing, and they really doing a cry for help. They start exacerbating it, getting worse at it, going deeper into it, getting at it harder. And because they feel like nobody's, if they know they messing up and slipping and nobody's saying anything to them, that furthermore dives them into what they were believing before they went into that rabbit hole. That may be a situation. So again, it would behoove you, Mr. Stuck in Silence, to talk to your brother-in-law and say, ¿Qué pasó, hermano? ¿Qué pasó, carnal? ¿Qué onda? What's going on with you? Let me know what's happening with you, baby. What's on your mind? What's on your chest? I see you getting down. You want, and then ask them, you want to talk about it? Ask them. Ask them, do you want to talk about it? Because they may be like, nah, man. Or like, man, go on with that, man. And if they start deflecting and doing all that kind of stuff, and it's, you feel like it's secretive and stuff like that, and you feel like, oh, man, this brother ain't got no rhyme or reason, and I can't help him that way, then again, you got other options. You've got other options. We've discussed them. But I think the first option that might, bring about the most resolution is, because if it don't give you answers, it gives you a response. It's talking to him first. Holla at your brother-in-law first, bruh. See where his head is at, man. That's real. Like, I would want that. I think most of people that, that would want anybody who's in a situation where they got things going on in their life and they don't want everybody privy to what they got going on in their life, would want the respect and the benefit of the doubt for somebody to come talk to me about it if they saw me in a situation that didn't look like it was beneficial to me. Talk to me. If you see me hurting myself, talk to me. I think it's disrespectful for you not to. Because you ain't give me you ain't even give me the benefit of the doubt of asking me, could I use your assistance before, you know what I'm saying? What's up with fresh eyes? You're not even giving me the benefit of the doubt of being able to say, like, could you be a lifeline for me in this situation? Would you let your judgmentalness be a block between your friend or your brother-in-law getting help? Don't slam the gavel on them and be like, oh, you just horrible. You're a crackhead. You're a fiend. What do people fiend for? If you get up and got to have Starbucks every day, you're a fiend. You getting your lift off? How you getting your lift off? It's not helping you either. So again, before you get to passing judgment on people, look in your mirror and see where your addictions lie. What'd you say, Kenchalo? A word. That's real. Like, we all got to be able to say, like, hey, where does this match something I'm doing? Because now I got an arena and where I can talk to this person at. You know? Bottom line, your loyalty is to yourself first. To you first, to figure out where you fit in this. And that loyalty means, like, what do I want to be? What person do I want to be in this scenario? Do I want to be the run tell that husband? Do I want to be the helpful brother-in-law? Do I want to be the silent assassin and not say a word? Like, you got options. And I'm not here to tell you any of them that you take are wrong. I just feel it's a certain thing. You say Starbucks and cocaine are not one and the same. They're not, but caffeine can speed up your heart just as fast as cocaine can. So run that. Red Bull drinkers, y'all drinking liquid cocaine. Run that. Run it. Most of the cocaine out there is baby laxative in it anyway. You better end up doodling out most of your day anyway. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They all in addiction. They're all in addiction. I got a whole poem called Fighting My Addictions. What's up, R.I.P. Fran? You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, before we start cracking the whip or passing judgment on other people for the stuff that they do, let's look at ourselves in the mirror and see what three of those fingers that's pointing back at us, how does their situation relate to something that's in my life? Because if that way, I can kind of talk to them about it. If I'm a caffeine fiend and they a cocaine fiend, now, what you say? Now, I'm judging the sugar sniff. I never tasted coffee, so I can't relate. And I've never had booger sugar. If I see you on cane, I'm slapping you. And that's what I want you to do. If you see me with a plate, slap it out my hand and say, 360, smack it, wake up, mofo. I want you to do that. Again, that's you coming to me first. That's you coming to me first. Mrs. Contreras, what's happening? Good to have you on there. We was on the same thing with them dock workers going on strike, man. I'm telling everybody, go get your toilet paper. But like, yeah, so we as we come to a close, though, like, you know, my advice is this, you know what I mean? Don't keep quiet in the situation to the point where you're not talking to anybody. Don't just keep all this to yourself. I wouldn't say that would be beneficial to you because it's already middle name judgery. You stupid. My thing is, like, I don't think that would be beneficial to you because it's already weighing on your head the fact that you don't want to keep this in. So I wouldn't say keep it to yourself. I would say don't keep quiet, but just don't rush to dump all this information in places to where you don't know where it will work in this best benefit. Because if you talk to your brother-in-law first, he will give you all that you need to know about where to go next. If he deflects and he tries to get you away from him, like, man, shut up, man, you better not tell your wife nothing, and we gonna squab you, you know what I'm saying? Call you all kind of stuff like that, then you know, like, hey, settle down before you catch these hands. Or you may be scared of it, whatever you may be. I don't know what's going on, because you say you stuck in silence. You stuck. So I would say talk to him first. But at the same time, don't have verbal diarrhea. Approach the situation with understanding. Like, hey, man, again, like it's more like you would say something along the lines like, hey, bro, I saw you getting down. Do you want to talk about it? Ask him, do they want to talk about it? That's the thing. You might be surprised. He may give you way more insight. He may give you way more information on this than you ever imagined you could have attained while you holding all this in, and it feel like a burp. Feel like you got to like you know what I'm saying? You know how I feel like you got gas in the middle of your chest and you got to get that burp out. He may be the antacid. The conversation with him may be the antacid. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You know what I mean? So that's all we got for today's episode. Again, I appreciate all y'all out there. Dakari Kofi, Christy Kenchelo, McFadden Amber, Mr. Contreras, Jorge, who else came in, tuned in, and tapped in, E. Carice, all y'all that came in and said something, even with your jokes and everything like that. I still appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in. Mr. Stuck in Silence, I appreciate you for writing, man. I really, really do, man. I saw you over here on Facebook. I saw you out there listening, so I'm hoping you taking a lot of this in, and hopefully this helps you out. So if any of y'all else out there got some tough situations, anything y'all questions y'all need answered, y'all know what to do. Hit me up at holla@thehomie@gmail.com. HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. I've been 360 the Poet, and I'm gonna holla at y'all in a minute.
Hi. Hey.
What's up?
All your favorite artists
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
on hot 7025fm.com.